So that's a picture of a nail off the internet, and it's completely corroded, that nail, and they're giving him a pedicure. It's got as much skin on the sides of the toenail as there is toenail. The toenail itself is only a third of the size of the toe. That's not right, okay? And they don't get it. That pedicure video got 90,000 views. People don't even know what they're looking at. That's absurd. Look at that. That's a corroded nail. And they're trimming it. And they're paying no attention to the fact that it's completely impacted. It's amazing. So here, my corroded nails are coming off. And they're leaving perfectly round cuticles. There's going to be some, that's new material underneath. That's got some old top nails still adhering to it on the front and on that side right there. That's going to scale off. And then that newer material underneath is still trying to come out, but it can't really, because you can see that there's still stuff down there that's impacted in the skin. All of that has to come out. That's why this is bubbling up back here. Let's see if I can get my tool out. Back here. This is actually flexible. It comes out, it's poorly formed. It's not really firmed up yet. When it first comes out, you can press on it. It's like a bubble of gel or something. It's just got a skin on top of it. But this is a side nail. It's going to scrape off. It's going to scale off. This is a good hunk of old top nail. It's going to go away. You see what's going on? And all of this is dead skin. My nail bed is back here. Okay? And my nail bed is all the way out here. And this is the nail bed's being encroached on all the way around by dead cuticle. And up until the time these top nails started to come off, my nail was all the way out to here, right? And it was all the way out to here. Covered it all up. And this, in this profile in front, there was this dead skin here, and it came out, the skin came all the way up to the nail. So it was just solid, impacted in there. And that's why I said before in some of these older videos, you see these people and they've got a dirt line around inside under the nail. They'll never be able to get that dirt out because the skin formed up and trapped it in there. But you're looking at their nails as though they're real nails all the way out to here. And they're not. They're not attached to the nail bed anywhere, really. You just don't see what you're looking at. So I'm just going to do a quick survey. These top nails are coming off now. This is moving out. This is going to break up. It's relatively nice looking, or it was before it started to move out. This was all the way back up under here. And it looked pretty normal, you know. But it's pushing out the cuticle. It's too big. It's a built-up nail, one on top of the other. Every one gets bigger. Every succeeding nail is a little bit larger and pushes the cuticle out a little bit more. And it's the nail that's making the cuticle look nail-shaped. And it's covering over all this round dead skin, this bumper of dead skin underneath, because your nails come out to here, right? So you're not seeing this. So this is the same deal. Guys, we're not going to growl, are we? Stop it. Go, Clyde. Stop. You can see that moving out, and this top nail is scaling off here. Okay. This was back up under here, and as soon as it gets out, it starts to break up. The nail was held in place. The nail is not attached to the nail bed. This nail has been held in place all these many years by the dead cuticle skin. And once you get it loose from the dead cuticle skin, it will start to travel out a little bit, and then it will start to break up. And this is what they call psoriasis. It's when they don't recognize the problem until the nail actually starts to disintegrate. And what they've done is they've misdiagnosed the symptom for a disease. Okay? Disintegrating fingernails are a sign either that one of two things, or both. You bit your fingernails at some time in the past and your body is covered over the damage. Look at that. I'll try to skin that off. Don't want to try to do that. Look at that. You can see how soft that is. But you can have psoriasis even if you didn't bite your fingernails before, just from having the nail get frozen in place. But if you bit your nails in the past, you just have more damage. That's all. I see people all the time, they have beautiful fingernails and they don't have a huge amount of buildup, but the nail is still frozen in place. I have pictures on my gallery of people that have beautiful fingernails, but you'll just see there'll be this thin line of dead skin around here on the edge, and you can see it. They're not doing nail maintenance. So that's it. It's just a symptom. Psoriasis of the nails is just a symptom of not doing proper nail maintenance every day. And if you ever bit your fingernails and the body made new top nails or cover nails to cover that damage, it just makes it that much worse. So my old top nails are coming off. I did a video a couple of, maybe a week ago. This is how much things have changed. This top nail split in half, and this half came off. That's the hole it came out of, but it's filled up. You see, the body immediately put out all of this rubbery type scrum. It filled up all these imperfections. I've washed and scrubbed a lot of it off. But immediately, because I don't have to fix any of this damage, for the nail to immediately start making a new cover nail to cover all of this up. If I were to stop my attempt to get this dead skin and nail off, the body would just put out more nail material because it's not completely stoppered up. If the skin had trapped the front of the nail and the cuticle was all the way around, then you would see just a diminishing circle like that little toenail. And the cuticle skin would just swallow the nail up. And then the nail is actually a stopper. And it's not letting any of this nail material get out at all. It's all accumulating under the skin. And that's when you have really, really, really serious problems. But I never got to the point that my nails were frozen to completely encircled. If I had, my problems would be a lot worse. So what's happening now is, if I leave this alone for a week, I'll get a new nail on top of all this stuff. And it might be a little bit brown. Look at that, see? They diagnose all this stuff. If you look on the internet, they'll tell you this is a sign of psoriasis of the nail here. They'll say that's a pit or a blood thing or a blood spot or a this or a that. It's crud from up under here. The lines in this nail are made because there's crud up under here under my skin, and it's being squeezed out. The new nail material is squeezing out under this stuff that's impacted up here, and it's grooving the nail. The nail is plastic, it's soft. This is still too big. This wants to come back. You see how it's, when that comes off, you'll see that the cuticle under there is round, like you see it here. You see, that's the nail is covering this. This nail is covering that. And none of this is attached to the nail bed. It's all jacked up in the air. And you can see that. And I've got pictures on my gallery of pictures I've taken, people just sitting around with their hands crossed or on their knee or something. And they'll have a white, they have white fingernail in front, perfectly normal looking nails, except they'll have a white piece like that that runs all the way back. That means that's not attached to the nail bed. It's up in the air. There's air space underneath there. Okay, it's not grounded. And it means that whole nail is fake. It's sitting up in the air. It's not attached to the nail bed. There's piles and piles and piles of crud under there. And it's just been jacked up in the air. And you'll see this all the time. This is just, people are not doing the nail maintenance. They're not breaking their cues. You have to do this every day. Nail maintenance has to be done every day, because if you don't, immediately the skin will get stuck to the nail and freeze it, embalm it. And even if it's only one day, the material that is trying to travel out, the waste of the body, this is how the body gets rid of dead cell material. And if you stopper this up, even for just one day, that one day's worth of trash gets trapped in your body and starts to create a backlog. Well, maybe you do a nail maintenance every day for another week, and then you don't do another day. Now you've got 2 days worth. Okay? You have to do it every day. I'm going to have to take all of my nails off, let them all scale off, and all of this stuff is backlogged for years. I started biting my fingernails, and I mean badly, when I was 5 years old, and I'm 72 years old. That's how much dead cell material I've got jammed up under my skin. And if I had if I had had a situation where my nails had been completely embalmed, and the cuticle ran all the way around and overlapped the nail, and the nail stayed there and just became a stopper, then I might well have had to have my hands amputated. People don't realize that this is big. It's a big deal. It's where all these people are having these major medical problems. And it's because they've stoppered up the waste in their bodies. It's incredible to me now that I can see it. But you can see that stuck to the nail, right? So that nail's not moving anywhere. And it only makes it worse that I bit my nails before. But you don't have to bite your nails to let them get stuck to the cuticle. And once you do that, you start to accumulate waste, and it starts to create problems. But all of this this whole top nail now, this is more or less new material, but it's already frozen and it's still sitting up on top of a bunch of crud. So it's all got to come off. It's got to come off anyway. And you'll see that when this little front edge comes off, you'll be able to see that this is just round. This is flubber. This built up just like that. Just like that. It's what this looks like underneath here. But because it's elongated, I could let this nail grow all the way out here, and you wouldn't see any of that stuff. Okay? This is an awkward position. I'm trying to hold my hand in the light. And once this breaks back, once the nail breaks back, then you'll be able to see that the skin underneath It's just dead skin that's built up in layers. But the nail has been protecting it. And once the nail breaks back past there, this whole front edge, this will start to dry up. This next layer of skin will start to dry up, and I'll be able to take and just scrape it off like that. If you need to go back and look at some of the old videos. This is a long, complicated process, and my realization, my consciousness about it has changed, been changing constantly, because I'm going backwards in time, and I'm starting to realize how this damage accumulated and what I have to do to get it off. But until all of this stuff is gone, this is new material, but it's got to go away too. It's not any more real than any other phony top nail that my body's made in the last 50 years is real. And it's going to have to go away too. And everything underneath it, right down to the nail bed. And when all of that's gone, then all of this dead skin, however much it is, if my nail bed is all the way back to here, if my nail is really supposed to start back there and run to all the way out here, that's the way it'll have to be. And when that's exposed, I'll find out this is the same all the way around. When the nail is gone and you can see the round cuticle, it's all one piece. So when that's revealed and you can see that, then you'll realize that it's the same all the way around in terms of the buildup. It's not 3/8 of an inch overlapped on the back and only a 1/16 of an inch on the front. If it's 3/8 of an inch back here, it's 3/8 of an inch up here. It's 3/8 of an inch over here. It's 3/8 of an inch over here. The damage, the buildup is the same all the way around. And these cuticles, they're microscopically small. I mean, each layer of skin is tiny. That's just dead skin. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. If you bit your nails every day and you bit through the cuticle every day a new cuticle formed. So that's 365 of them a year. So that's why you see this girl that is getting the pedicure, and she's got 3/8 of an inch of skin on the side of her nail, and 3/8 of an inch over here, and this tiny little nail that's not any bigger than the skin on the sides of it. It's not supposed to be that way. Your toenail is not supposed to be 1/3 of the dimension of your toe. This is the same thing. See, this is all appliqué on top. And I don't know how far the nail bed is down there, and how much more of this stuff has to come off. This may be new material that's coming out over yet more damage down there. I don't know, and I won't know till I get down there. And it's just a reversing process. We've started to make it move in reverse now. And when this comes off, then this dead skin will shed here, and you can see it. You can see the layers here. So when the nail sheds back, you'll be able to peel that down. And when all of this dead cuticle skin is gone and all of this buildup, however much is underneath there, even if this looks new, this looks like a new nail, if it's not attached to the nail bed, it's bogus too, and it's got to go too, even though it's brand new nail material. And the good news there is it's being made out of this stuff up here, and this stuff is now actually able to get out. To a certain extent, I've unstoppered. The nails are moving out, and the trash underneath the skin, these white lumps, which before my fingers were so swollen up you couldn't see. Now you see the spots, and that's because some of this stuff is getting out. And this is what it looks like. It's brown and it's rubbery. Like this, you can actually, it's soft, you can actually scrub it off. But if a nail formed over this, then your nail would not look to be this color, this pink color, the color it's supposed to be. It would pick up this brown cast. So when you look, if you look back at the first shot of that toenail is brown, not pink. You're not seeing it. It's built up over so far over the nail bed. You're not getting any color from the blood at all. You're getting this color here. And that means it's all dead nail. If your nails are discolored like that, it's not necessarily dirt. It's not necessarily nicotine stains. It's picking up the color from the trash underneath. And if it's corrugated like that at all, that's a deteriorating nail. That girl is getting a pedicure on a nail that is actually deteriorating. It's disintegrating. And they're dressing it. And you see how all of this is laminated in layers. This is all laid up right here. All of this stuff is laid up over this new nail material here. And you can see the old shape of the nail. See, the nail came out all the way out here. And that was the shape. It pushed out. The new cover nail stretched this cuticle out to the side. It had spilled up and over. And it lost the shape. It had lost the shape of the nail bed because it's so far up over it. And this dead skin builds up and up and up. And the new nail material keeps coming out. And it just stacks up and stacks up and stacks up. Eventually, the nail material leaks out over this buildup on the side, and then you get a paddle-shaped nail that comes all the way out to here. But that much skin underneath it is just dead buildup. And half of it or more is overlapping the nail bed. When you look, right now I still have a lot of buildup on the side of my fingers. I'm willing to bet that the nail bed is almost the same dimension as the tip of the finger. And there's not really supposed to be any skin on the side of the nail bed or the nail. The nail should come right out to the edge and just drop off. There shouldn't be that much there shouldn't be 1/8 of an inch or more of skin on the side outside of your fingernail. You see that? That's a bubble. That's soft. That's absolute. I just dented it. That's soft. It's newly being formed. And if it's formed over, and I've been peeling these cuticles, the cuticle, look at this. Oh, ouch. That's not what I wanted to do. So when there was a lot more buildup, when I first started, I could pick up a piece of cuticle like that, right? Can you still see it? Sometimes I look at the screen while I'm doing this, and that's not the right way. You're supposed to actually look at your finger when you're sticking yourself with a knife. So, but this, I would get the cuticle, piece of dead, one layer, and I would get it loose down here, right? Like that one's starting to come. And I could get it with my forceps, and I could peel the whole, did you see that? Dead cuticle skin. Layer after layer, row after row. So, but when I had nothing but buildup and I was just getting started, and I wasn't anywhere near to living tissue, I could grab that little tail with my forceps and to pull it out all the way around, from one side to the other, and it would be one long string, like a piece of a rubber band. So I still have that buildup on my fingers. I haven't gotten it all off. But this new nail material is coming out, and it's forming over this old dead cuticle material. So it may be that I'll pull this out, and it will pull this new nail material out as it comes around. It's of no consequence, because this new stuff has got to go just like the old stuff's got to go. It's just new cover nails covering the old damage. So I still have to get the old damage off. This is not easy to do. There have been times when I could work on my hands and I could show you better. But it's getting very choppy now down in there. So once that breaks loose, this whole nail moves out. It may only move out a little bit, but that'll be enough to let it just start disintegrating. It'll start to break up. And then you'll see the scrum underneath. It's all bogus. You can see my cuticles now are starting to look round. And that's because those cover nails, the top nails, are going away. If it looks elongated, it just means that it hasn't, the top nail hasn't scaled back enough to let you see all of the dead skin that's impacted on the front. When this goes away, and all of this here, this nail will look as round as this one is starting, or this profile will be round. And then you'll see what's been happening. This dead skin has been building up, this dead cuticle skin has been building up over the nail bed, and it's drawing down and down and down and down. But your body is still putting out new nail material over it. And that nail material, there's nothing different here. This has been just like this underneath my nails for 50 years. Hadn't changed. When my nails were all the way out here and all the way out here, right? This was still just like what you're seeing, only you couldn't see it. I've taken off tons and tons and tons of dead cuticle material around and around and around and around. And I've still got all of this. It was swallowing up my nails. It was swallowing up my nail bed. And it was all covered over by big, beautiful top nails. Each top nail that gets made has to be a little bit bigger to cover the one underneath, the damage underneath. And what you wind up with is big, beautiful nails that are not attached to the nail bed. And nails are durable, but they're not permanent. And so if you've got a nail and it's glued in place by being stuck to the cuticle, eventually it's going to disintegrate. And if there's a huge amount of trash underneath that, when that top nail disintegrates and you can see all that trash underneath, then you're going to freak out and go, oh no, I've got psoriasis of the nails. You've always had psoriasis of the nails, if that's what you want to call it. But psoriasis of the nail is just a symptom that shows you that you have not been doing nail maintenance every day for however long you have not been doing it every day. And if you bit your nails when you were a kid like I did, and nobody ever taught you anything about nail maintenance, all that damage you did when you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old biting your fingernails, it's all still under there. And even if it's covered over with big, beautiful nails. I'm doing the best I can to explain this to you. Nobody gets it. I mean, why would somebody get 90,000 views on a video for a pedicure for a dead nail? a dead disintegrating nail that's so impacted it's disappearing in the skin. And my videos are getting 2 views. You don't want to deal with the problem you've actually got. The only people that are looking at my videos are pain freaks. The only comment I've got, a cumulative, like 2,500 views. I got one comment and some girl said, "Oh, it hurts, looks like it hurts so good, I wish I had the courage to do it." I'm not interested in pain freaks. That's not what this is for. This is not for people that want to carve on their skin and cut themselves and, shove safety pins through their fingers and ears. This is for people who have serious problems and don't realize it. This is causing people to get their limbs amputated. They've stoppered up the waist of the body. You might as well glue a cork in your butt and see how long you live. Okay, waste is not supposed to get bottled up in the body no matter what the waste is. That's a top nail. It's too wide. All right? You can see it there. I've got a picture of a guy he's got beautiful nails. He's sitting at the bus stop. He's got his hands folded on his knee. He's got a thin little crust like that of dead skin around, and he doesn't realize his nails are beautiful. He doesn't realize he's got a problem. Okay? But he's got a shoulder on his. He may never have bitten his fingernails, but he's got a square shoulder like that on his nail. And that means they're built up anyway. And what's happening is this cuticle skin is pulled down tight like that. And the nails build up and up and up. And it's the stretched cuticle here that's it's creating this profile. And this material, when it forces out, it comes out under pressure. It's like a Play-Doh machine. The nail is plastic, and it's given it a shoulder on the side. That's because the cuticle skin is stretched right here, and it's straight up and down. I've got a picture of one of my nails, and it may be this one, because this is nails and nails and nails ago. But one of my little fingernails had a ridge right down the middle. And the reason was that when the cuticle overlapped, sometimes it'll only happen on one side. And you'll look at it this way, and the profile of the nail will be like this. Right? So you'll get if you only bit your nail from this side, and the cuticle overlaps the nail from here, it'll actually dig a groove in the nail, and then it's permanent. It's locked it down. So you can have that, and then this side be curved. You'll have a curve here, and then this will be straight on an angle like that, pulled tight. But you can have it where it's like that on both sides, right? Where the cuticle overlaps the nail on both sides and locks it down. And what happens then is the Play-Doh machine has made a shape in the shape of a peaked roof, and it squeezes the nail out in a triangular shape like that, and you get the ridge right down the middle. I call them, the baby turtles, the baby turtle shell nail, and it'll be that shape like that. It'll be absolutely flat across there on an angle. But this guy just had a big shoulder. His nails looked perfect, but they were square. They were almost 90 degrees on the side like that. Not all the way over to the middle, but just right here on the outside. The nail got right to there, and then it went vertical. That's not right either. And when that happens, what it is there's buildup here in that angle. It's too thick. The nail is supposed to be shaped like a section of a cylinder. And so if it's not, then it's got buildup. And that's what it was. His nail was shaped like this. It went straight up on the side, and then it was a kind of a flat. It wasn't completely flattened out like this one. It had a little loft to it, but then it got to the sides and it dropped straight off. And what that means is, where it's thin here, the nail just gets thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker here, and then it goes down. And so that means there's extra material in that angle. You could take that, because the nail is thicker right here on this, you could probably take and just shave it off. Because the nail is supposed to be a uniform thickness, and it's supposed to be in the same shape as the nail bed. This is way too big. Okay, still, after all these nails, this is maybe the third, fourth, fifth nail that has broken loose and come off and disintegrated and started to break up. And each one, you see it's dropping down and back. And this profile is dropping down. My nails used to come up. They came up from back here. Up. There was so much buildup here, so much dead cuticles here. There was so much stuff crammed up under the skin here that the nail was actually up here. And it went up from the knuckle. The cuticle here went up from there to there. And the nail came out there. Because I'm taking off skin and nail, this whole profile is dropped. The level of the nail is dropped, and the level of the skin on the side of the nail is dropped. It looks about the same, though, because it's uniform. I've taken off up here. I've taken off nail and skin. But more is dropping because I've been working on the cuticle, and I didn't even realize all the things that were going on with the nail. I didn't realize I had stacks and stacks and stacks of nails under there at first. So this has dropped relative. My skin, when my nail was way up here, my skin was over it on the side, almost all the way up as high as the nail. And when you looked at it from this dimension, the nail was under there, but the skin was over it, like that. So I could take a little wooden stick and I could shape that dead skin on the sides, and it looked perfectly normal. But I would have had to break it loose with that stick all the way back to there to loosen it. And you're not doing that. You're just pushing it back and pushing it back and shaping it. But the cuticle is still stuck to the nail. And back here, where you've got 3/8 of an inch of dead cuticle skin in contact with the nail, pushing on this dead skin here, when it's stuck way back here, it's not doing any good at all. So even if you started doing nail maintenance and doing it every day, if your cuticle is stuck to the skin back here, up underneath, it's not doing anything anyway. You're just shaping dead skin. But that's a 32nd of an inch drop back there once this nail moves out. And this whole nail is going to break up, disintegrate, and come off. And then there's going to be a smaller dimension on the side. This is a wing nail. It's going to come off. Okay? But my nail bed might actually still be way out here. Where am I? Might still be way out here. Because the skin is overlapping it. This is all dead skin that's overlapped the nail bed. But this wing nail here is leaked out over this dead skin. It's going to come off, and then you'll see the circle. This is short, but it's way wide. That's going to come off, and that's going to come off, and this is going to travel out, and then that's going to be further down. This will collapse in profile. I'm telling you, this skin used to come straight. It was up there. And every time one of these nails moves out and comes and starts to disintegrate, this drops here. And now you can see when this moves out and breaks up and goes, what's going to happen to this? It's going to collapse down on that. And that profile is going to be more there. Like that. From the knuckle down instead of from the knuckle up. And it's going to appear to be narrower. The side nail is going to come off. But still, everything from there, that's going to look like the cuticle right there. And the circle is going to be smaller. But you're going to see all of it. It's going to be round like a little bathtub drain. But when this is exposed, you're going to see all this cuticle skin. What you're not going to see is that half of that cuticle skin is all built up, and the nail bed could well be wet all the way out here. It's just the dead skin has overlapped it all the way up to here. So when the nails are gone, then the rest of this dead skin has to go, which could be 1/8 of an inch on the front here, 1/16 of an inch, who knows? Wherever that nail bed is underneath there. All the rest of that will have to go away. All the rest of it will have to go away on the sides. The dimension is the same. The buildup is the same all the way around. So if you have 1/8 of an inch of buildup covering the nail bed from the back, or 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch, then that's how much you've got overlapping the front. That's how much you've got overlapping each side. And you won't even see it until this top nail comes off. See how wide this nail is? This is a little narrower here now. And this is going to collapse. The skin has collapsed down on it, but you can see this is all still dead skin, right? That's one layer out of hundreds. Hundreds of layers of dead skin. And it used to be when it was so thick, I could peel out whole strings of it all in a continuous piece. Not just picking out little pieces of it like that. But I could get that to come loose and stand up like a string in the air, and I could grab it with the forceps and pull it out all the way around. And here you see in the lamination on the side, you get the cuticle skin laps up over the nail material, and then new nail material comes out, and it comes right out over the skin. So it's interleaved all the way around from the sides and out here. It's like a partially shuffled deck of cards. You haven't shoved it back together, but you've just interleaved them. You get a layer of skin and a layer of nail and a layer of skin and a layer of nail. And so it's confusing when it's coming off. But you can see that under there, right? This is an extension. And you can see this round shape. The nail used to be all the way out here. And this dimension here was stretched all the way out to there. And this looks more square at the back. Your nails can look perfect and still be covering all of this. Right? Should go back and look at that. I have video up that's an hour and 2 minutes, and it's pretty good for showing you what's going on. And then since that video was made, this has really started to disintegrate. Look at that, how abbreviated that is. And none of that is really stuck to the nail bed. None of this is. See, you can see that this bumper, it actually is way back here. Goes around like that. And when this extra wide nail, this cruddy nail, when it comes off, this cuticle dimension, the shape of it, will go round. It's the nail that's pushing it out in the corners. So when this scales off, when this comes back, you see that. Look, draw that line on around. This nail's covering it. This cuticle line goes back up under here like that. And back this way. This whole line, this is all flattened out here and made look almost straight across. But when this nail is gone, it'll go circular. Like that. All of these are. You see, this is all going to come off. You see, you're trying to look under the nail. Okay, this is going to be here. All of that will come off. You can see that line. It's the same all the way around. You see how big it is over here, the bumper? So it's all the way into there. This cuticle line goes around here. And when this nail comes off and exposes this bumper around, the leading edge of it right here, which is dead skin, is going to start to dry up and flake off. And then this will all scale off. And then you'll have the same thing. You'll just have the next nail. And each one will just get smaller and smaller and smaller. I know it's hard to see. You haven't been seeing it for however many years. I didn't see it for 65 years. But now that I can see it, I'm amazed at the damage that I see on people's hands. And they have not clue one what they've got or how dangerous it is for their health, for their general health. Because I think this dead skin cell material gets bottled up under your skin, and it actually starts to erupt through the skin. And that's why you see these people that have red legs, discolored, inflamed looking skin, cracks in it, obviously dead skin on the surface. And it's like they're like boils. They're popping, this stuff is erupting right through the skin. And it's because they bottled up the waste in their bodies. See? Good. Where am I? I didn't really intend this to be a pick fest, and I haven't gotten into it, and I don't really want to. But just more and more and more. Nail on one side and dead skin on the other. Trying to scale off a little bit of that nail right there. You see it gets more and more and more round. You just don't see what's going on. And that's just a layer of cuticle skin right there. And once it comes out, the next one behind it will start to dry up and become obvious. Now, it's okay. That nail needs to come loose. It needs to travel off and break up because it's all dead junk, every bit of this. All impacted, and you can see down there now how much smaller dimension that is. This the nail on top is too big. And when it moves out, the cuticle will collapse down on to that next layer underneath. You see how wide this is. It's too wide also. Right here. You see it's over that. See how fat that is. It wants to go right there. But then there'll just be the next ring and the next ring and the next ring, and it just keeps diminishing. But all of this, my nail bed is probably out to here. It's just covered over by this dead skin that's overlapped it on both sides. So once all of this is gone, then all of this has to go too. All of this dead skin has to go. And then I'll see that my nail bed is actually shaped like that. It goes all the way back to here. It comes all the way out to there. And it comes all the way out to here, underneath the skin. And a 1/16 of an inch of dead skin or an 1/8 of an inch of dead skin that's just laminated in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of layers on the front of my fingers. And on the sides and on the back, it all has to go. All of it all has to go. It's a big job. I've been working on this for 2 years. I don't think if I'd known this when I was working, I don't think I could have done anything about it while I was working, because it keeps your hands in a torn up condition, you know. You see that? It's just dead skin. It's going to peel off. It's going to reveal this next layer of junk here underneath. This that you thought was on top here is just, there's more underneath, and it was hidden by the skin that was laminated right up to there. And when this goes away and this skin goes away, you'll see the next nail buried underneath there. And that bumper is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But as the top nails come off, it gets rounder and rounder and rounder. You can see what it really is. And it's all buildup. It's all dead skin, every bit of it. And when that goes away, that'll look normal. You know, if I had a nail on there that came out to there, right? and you looked at it under there and the skin came right up to the nail, well, it would probably look like your nails, wouldn't it? But all this junk is under there. This is going to pick out. And it's going to drop down inside like that does, that little groove in the gully around inside. It's all filled up. It's laminated in with skin. It's all going to pick out. See, this is all flat. This is all will get dug out. And the groove will come like that. You'll see that it's a bumper. You start to see the next layer of nail underneath there. Sometimes you can just pull down on it like that and it'll break away, separate. See how that's all just laminated across there? All of that will pick out. It might be a little tender, you know what I mean? I'm no telling what's underneath there. It might be stuck so good that if I tried to take it off, it would hurt. But if I leave it alone for a couple of days and wash my hands and whatnot and scrub them with a cuticle brush, and it'll dry up and start to separate on its own. The process, I've actually gotten to the point where it's in reverse. And I'm having to work hard to keep up. You know, I've got 10 fingers, and they're all in various stages of delaminating and scaling back, and with dead skin drying up, different on each one. And so every day, you know, this little piece here, it'll start to say, pick me out. I'm not happy. That will start to irritate you. Just being there, dry. It's decided, it's figured out that it's not really part of your body. And it wants to get off. It's just like a dead tooth. One day it's part of your body and it's in there, and the next day it's not part of your body and it wants you to pull it. Okay? So that just popped out. That was just a chunk of dead skin. And this next bit will dry up also. And this will come off, whether it wants to now or not. In a day or two, it will. In a day or two, it'll decide to give up. See, that's just laminated on there. You see that? Oh, I get you right. Come on, focus. Right there. That's just laminated up and over. Right there. So there's no telling where the nail bed is or how far out it sticks to the side. But we know that this skin is rolled up and over it from every direction. I don't normally scale this off manually like this, the nail, because it's liable to run deep and take off more than you want. It can get into a situation where you actually hurt. And I know that it's the process is running in reverse now. And so it's going to, in a day or two or whatever, it's going to want to come off on its own. Sun's moving. How about that? Time's passing. Every day. And you can see that they're just layers and layers and layers of dead skin. You see there? More and more and more. This whole front of my finger is all just laminated. And when this comes off, you'll see this gully that runs all the way around. It's starting to be picked out now. When we started, it wasn't. It was all laminated over, right? Like this is. And this will pick out. You see that nail flake now? It was just completely laminated in there the other day. I've made 2 or 3 videos just in the last week. And each one is with this finger. You know, I made a whole video pretty much on this finger, and it's radically different. This is the one that was split down the middle and had the flake here and the flake here. This came loose over here, and it stood up. And for a couple of days, it didn't want to come out, and it just waved back and forth. But it was stuck all the way down in that hole. And the hole went all the way down to the nail bed. But now this nail material has come out overnight and filled that hole up. Go back and look at those old videos. They aren't that old. I made 3 in the last week. See that? All junk. Every bit of this. Every bit of this on the front of my finger. This is new material coming out here. But it's coming out over junk, probably. And I've got to have to take this back off and everything that's underneath it. So you see how that skin on the side is laminated up and over all of that. I'm not going to pick it all out because it's painful. I don't know what that is right there. All impaction. Ugly, huh? Hey, Brandy. You gonna gurk something up over there, baby? You see those layers? Now I've gone right down to, that looks like it wants to bleed there. But nonetheless, everything over that, which is a lot, is all dead. All dead skin, all callous. Remember, your nails are just nice looking scabs. They're made out of the same material that the scabs are made out of. Dead cell material. See, that was built up too thick there. I just shaved a piece right off the surface. When it spills out on the sides like that, it does that. It flattens out. I picked tons and tons and tons of dead skin off my fingers, and I still have lots and lots and lots to go. But the deal is, everything that's gone is gone. And it makes a difference. It really does. Everything's changed. Subliminally, in my whole life, the pressure. This is a significant source of disease. And you don't realize the pressure this creates. It's why you snap at your children, or why you might yell at the dog. This is the subliminal effects of all of this, I think, are tremendous. Because it's symptomatic of disease. It could be symptomatic of a mental disease or psychological discomfort. I finally figured out that the reason people who, it could be part of the reason you bite your fingernails, is that you realize all this damage is under there. You don't consciously realize it, but you're trying to gnaw your way back to where this original damage was and try to get rid of it. It's creating that much discomfort. And that's what you have to do. You have to go back and get it all out. Come on now. Came off right there. And you'll see this pull out from underneath that nail. It was laminated right up and over. And now I'll be able to get the knife underneath the nail and pick out more dead skin from underneath. And then this little piece here will pick off because it'll be unsupported. All the same stuff going on. You see how soft that is? You see how brown that is? It could be that that's junk like this. You see how brown that is? See? And so if a top nail formed over this, it would look brown and corrugated. You see these brownish looking nails. Just like the one in that pedicure. That was just amazing. It's brown. A toenail's not supposed to be brown. Come on. Look at that. And look at you. If you imagine that nail just gone, there's a tiny little circle underneath there, and all of that huge amount of dead skin. It's the same on every side. So however much that is over there, it's the same amount over there. It's the same amount in front. And look how it's swollen up right up to the nail underneath. And that nail is it's disintegrating. It's corroding. And they're giving that girl a pedicure. Unbelievable. She didn't need a pedicure. She needs to start cutting the dead skin off her foot before it eats her. It's going to kill her. People don't realize they're walking around these boots with their bare feet, with their toenails disintegrating. They've got not clue one. And neither do their doctors. So now you see under there how the skin was over it. And it's underneath is bigger. Here. All of this was under the skin. Here when we started. And it'll be rinse and repeat. There'll be another bumper. There'll be another groove around. It'll look smooth for a day or two, and then it'll start to dry up. And then it'll want to go away. It'll want to be picked off. Oh, Ouch. It's not pleasant sometimes. It's the way it's interleaved. The way it pulls is cause a lot of discomfort. And sometimes, and mostly I try not to push it, and I leave it and I let it decide to get to the point like that dead tooth. You don't want to pull it before it wants to come out, and when it wants to come out, it'll let you know. You won't be able to leave it alone then. So I love Anglicism. This guy said, was talking about some guy who was involved in a scandal over there in London, and he said it had ruined his career. He said, the mind will always go to it when you mention his name. He said, like the tongue goes to a bad tooth. There you go. And you see there's just another layer. That's got another groove under there. And it's going to look like another bumper. Like that. Or like that. Another and another and another until they're all gone. It's all dead skin. So this started when I was 5 years old. I'm lucky it's only taken 2 years to get this far. But hopefully when I'm done, I'll have actual right-sized, healthy fingernails. And all of the other health problems that flow out from this as collateral damage, they will be corrected also. And I don't even necessarily know what all of those are, but I know I feel a lot better, even though it doesn't look like I should. There's a lot of subliminal pressure that's been relieved. The corners of my, which one was it? It was this finger here. It's still pushed out like that, right? Well, it was pushed out all the way like that. And this was a hard, tight collar around here of callus. And it had been like that for years. But you see how wide that is. That nail's not supposed to be that wide. I could get under there and trim that off probably now if I wanted to. But you don't want to overdo it. Right? And now you'll see the cuticle skin under there wants to be circular. The bumper is showing already just with me picking that front leading edge. It wants to come back all the way. Yeah. Cut that corner off and it'll be round. And just cut this corner off and it'll be round. And this is scaling back. Just laminate it up and over. All callus. Just as dead as a doorknot. It's not living tissue, guys. It's not hurting a bit. And you can see that dent now. It starts to run around, and you can see that it's a bumper again. It's just further back. It's not like it's just one. It's layers and layers and layers and layers. And it's receding, but it's an absolute duplicate of itself. Every layer is the same. It's just smaller. I'm going to have to clean this mess up. It's more efficient to do it if you're just doing it and not trying to do it while you're making a video. It's a little awkward. Can't really work. But you see, that's all dead skin. All of it, and that up here too. All of that. It's all dead skin. Probably back to there. You see, that groove there is emerging, where it's been all impacted and filled up. The next layer just filled in over it. And now you see that that's just a whole layer of dead skin there. It'll continue to peel off. It'll break and run away like sunburned skin. So that dimension needs to collapse. It has to be narrower. And then the cuticle will collapse down to whatever the new level is. When I succeed in breaking this top nail loose, it'll travel out a little bit, and then it'll just crack up and disintegrate, like this one is done, starting to do. That one has moved out, and its profile is gonna drop in the back. There's some kind of nail flake or something in there, some kind of other damage. And the nail material will flow out on both sides of damage like that if it can, or around one side. And I've had it come out like that and go all the way back down there and around when this was blocked somehow. So that could be a nail flake, not just skin. But something may be holding it up there. It can't get out. It'll all be good as new tomorrow. Just dried up and smooth around there, if I get it all out. Come here, you. That's all this dead cuticle built up. That looks ugly. But it's of no consequence. It's all old damage and it's got to go away. See, that'll all peel off the front of that finger there. It's already dried. I'll pick out there. Impacted nail. That's what you got. Impacted and dead skin. It's all got to come out. Every bit of it. If I slip, I'll gouge myself really good. That's why you kind of don't like to work at it this way. More and more and more. So now you see that groove is emerging. It's around, it'll run all the way around. You hear? All the way back around here, underneath that nail. And over here, when all this comes off. And you'll see that it's just another big round, it's like an eraser. That's one of those erasers that you stick on the end of a pencil, the big bulby kind. You slip it over the end of the pencil. That's what the tip of your finger is. And it's going to come, right back around here, underneath. And all of this will go away. And all of this is laminated. And it looks just as solid as it can be. You can think, sometimes you look at this and you can't tell what's nail and what's skin. Okay, well, this is more of a pig fest than I intended it to be today. But everything that goes, goes. Everything that's gone, everything you get off is something else you get off. So, let's see. Come on now. Hopefully you start to see it. That nail is way too wide. Okay? When the top nail comes out or scales off, that cuticle is going to look round, perfectly round. That's still too wide, and it's covering over all of the dead skin that would otherwise be rolled up and over, and you would see that it rolls up and over and drops back down inside like the cone of a volcano. And down inside the cone is the nail bed. And it has all that trash and loose stuff sitting on the bottom. It's piled up there, and these nails come out over it. See, that's all dry and dead on the front. I could take it and pick it out just like I did that one. This is already dry enough here. See, I could peel that off. It's all gotta go. Every bit of it. And I can back peel it the other way and take it out from under the nail. Free the nail. The more of this dead skin, this is up under the nail also. So the more that goes away, the sooner you'll be able to free the nail, which is just trash anyway, and it'll go away. You can see the layers there, and they're thick layers. I'm taking off more than one layer of cuticle there. Those are big bunches of layers of cuticle. Dozens of layers of skin each. Three main. Right there. There's that one. You see it there? That's one layer right there. And then here. And then here, outside. It's not working too good. The sun's moving on me. I could take that now and peel that down from the front. It's dried, you can see. I could scale it back just like I did the others. All of these are drying up pretty good. So this is all trash. Don't fool yourself. Oop. All right, I'm tired and I know you are too. We'll see you next time.